Here's some things that no one told me about engineering before going into engineering. I got a few of them. I'll probably come up with some more while I'm talking, and I hope this video is not too long. But number one, you will get paid a salary. In most people's regards, they're going to say a great salary for 40 hours a week, or whatever it is. Just to say you're supposed to work 40 hours a week. You're pretty much expected to work 60 hours. Everyone else just works crazy hours. No one told me that. That's crazy. I ain't about that life. So you know what Tio did? Tio worked 40 hours when he worked as an engineer. Number two, as you get promoted, you also work more and more hours and get more and more, obviously, responsibility and all that stuff, but that's expected, right? But you literally work more and more hours. So the way I saw it was, I'm gonna be working way more hours for more money. But if you sit there and you do like the per hour calculation, I actually did this, like checking an email, sending an email like late at night, or just all the stuff that you have, being able to work remotely with a cell phone, with a laptop, all that stuff, your per hour pay isn't very good. So next, this was probably the thing that bothered me the most. And it was this, that no matter how hard you worked, how good you are at what you did, how much like your heart and soul you poured into it, it didn't matter. Like it mattered, like you get a little pat on the back or some other bullshit like that. But if, let's say like you're a level 1 engineer and you're just killing it, and you're putting like level 2 and level 3 engineers to shame, just because you get the thing and then you're just good at what you do, right? You're pouring yourself into what you do. And no matter how good you are, you won't get promoted to a level 2 engineer until, this is most corporate stuff, not like new tech companies. This is like old dinosaur, creaky wheel, just stupid old companies. You won't get promoted until you reach their little timeline of 3 to 5 years, or whatever their little timeline is, that you have to be like a level 1 engineer to a level 2 engineer and level 3 engineer, which is stupid to me. To kind of expand off of that, which I think is even worse, if you are incompetent as a level 1 engineer in whatever you're doing, let's say it's like design engineering, maybe you're a good like calibration engineer, you're a good like application engineer, or something else. You're just not good at a design engineer. That's fine. You're gonna keep doing that job 3 to 5 years. If you're happy, right? No one's gonna be like, hey, you suck at this, you should do something else. Nope, you can just stay there, keep doing it, keep doing it. 3 to 5 years later, you become a level 2 engineer. 3 to 5 years later, level 3, level 4, level 5, till you get to senior engineer, till you get to manager, to project manager, to whatever. Why is that bad? Obviously, you're promoting someone that's incompetent just because they've sat in that chair for 3 to 5 years. To me, that is insane. And I have seen it literally in every company that I've worked for. I've heard people complain about the same thing in every company that every one of my friends of different companies that have worked for different companies, of how incompetent people get promoted. And as long as you're not messing stuff up too bad, they'll just find a little stupid job for you to do over here in the corner where you can keep messing things up, and it blows my mind. It's crazy to me. And what's worse is when you're motivated like me, I think that should be rewarded. And right, because if my motivation in engineering was rewarded and it was, I guess, acknowledged and seen, I think a company would greatly benefit from, not like just my motivation, but anyone that's in my shoes, right? That's why so many people get out of whatever corporate job, is because they have so much like ambition and will and want to do big things and do things, and then in a company like that you just can't, which I don't know, whatever. Anyway, I fucking went on a tangent on that one. So this one kind of goes along with what I was talking about. You don't get fired for being incompetent. You just get pushed off into a corner, and it just makes the company, it's the worst thing ever for the company, right? And I've worked in every single company, and there's always the one guy that's incompetent. Not that it's not even that he's incompetent. He just doesn't care. He doesn't want to. He just wants to go there, do his job at like to the minimum of the minimum, and just get by, not just blame things on other people. It's terrible. But that sort of stuff just, to me, like killed me, right? Like on the inside, I was like, how is this possible that this is okay? And everyone knows that it's happened. It's just, it's terrible. So that's one of the things that I really, really couldn't stand. And then also I wish someone would have told me that, yeah, you get to work on cars sometimes, depending on what you do, right? I'm a car guy. That's why I went to engineering. I wanted to work on cars. I wanted to drive cars. I wanted to do cool things with cars. No matter how cool your job is in engineering, you're pretty much like a PowerPoint, Excel, meeting expert, right? So to me, that wasn't exciting. You know, maybe you got like 10, 20% of like cool stuff, and then the rest of the time you're sitting there on Excel or on PowerPoint or reading some SOP or whatever you're doing, right? Putting together. To me, it just wasn't, I was sold on something that I don't think it was what it really is, right? And I think that there were so many engineers that I knew before I went to engineering that they could have been like, hey, you know what? Here's what engineering actually is. Here's what you actually do. And there's some cool engineering jobs, but there's still, the vast majority of them are just boring office desk job, monotonous, zero fulfillment, just poke your freaking eyes out with a pen and smack yourself with a keyboard. Just so boring and frustrating. But no one told me any of this. No one told me any of the things that I just covered in this video, and I wish they would have, because if they would have, they don't go to the career fairs telling you these sort of things, right? Because if they would, well, then no one would want to do the job, right? So I think that if you know someone that is going to want to be an engineer or whatever, you have a talk with them and tell them exactly what engineering is and what to expect. Maybe not as like from my view, because my view is like tainted, right? Because I didn't like it, but maybe from, maybe, I don't know, maybe tell them from my view, because it's an honest view of what it really is without the sugarcoat. So, but anyway, this video is getting way too long, so I hope you have a great day. And what is something that you wish you knew before you got into it? Whatever, if you went to be a nurse, a doctor, accountant, engineer, whatever your career choice was, what is one thing that you wish that someone told you that you know was in that career, that if they would have told you, you maybe would have thought twice about going into that career path? Or maybe still went to school for that thing, but maybe taken a different job in a different sort of company or something like that. So let me know in the comments or in the DM. I'm curious. So hope you have a great day. And this is the longest video I've ever made. And my clicker still doesn't work.